What is up, everyone? Welcome back. Here we go. We're going to do some decimal operations. Specifically, our chapter will be called Adding and Subtracting Decimals. All right, here we go. All right, so check it out. Here we go. Here is our equation, and I know that many of you traditionally are able to take this decimal on the side here and you place it down here. So then it's all stacked up vertically and you line up the decimal point. But today I'm going to give you a couple other strategies that you'll be able to use and put into your toolbox. For many of us, we get confused sometimes when we do decimals and we don't know where to put the decimal place. So if we were to rename this, then we'd be able to do some traditional addition just like this. Now if we take a look at this number right here, we would know if we rename this, it would be 4,234 thousandths. And then we would know that this would be 3,829 thousandths. Now, just like traditional addition, we won't need to place the decimal place. We can just add them together and do the simple addition. Now, if we know it was 8,063 thousandths, we would then know the number would be 8.063, or in other words, 8,063 thousandths. So that's the first way to do it. Just rename it, because if we know the place value, we know where we would put the decimal place afterwards. All right, let's move on to the second strategy. And here is the second strategy. We're going to use a place value chart to do the addition of 4.234 and 3.829. Now, where can we get a place value chart? How about this? Bam! There we go. There's our place value chart. Okay, so if we were to add our decimals, here we go. Now, aren't those the cutest dots you've ever seen? So we've got 4 ones, 2 tenths, just right here, 3 hundredths, like that, and then 4 thousandths. And we are going to add these decimals now. All right, now we're going to add those digits. So we've got 3 ones, 8 tenths, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 2 hundredths, and we've got 9 thousandths. Now, if we added them all up, we have got 7. And over here, we've got 8, 9, 10. We've got 5. And on the last, we've got 9, 10, 11. We've got 13. Now, those are all the areas. Now we have to regroup. So what we would do is take the 10 from this side and add them. Ooh, don't forget that one. Ooh. Whoa, that's a nasty looking circle. Okay, there we go. Much better. And we're going to add it over here to regroup. And then we're going to take the 10. Ooh, look at that circle. Oh, it's not really that blob. And we're going to take this blob and add it to here. So our final tally will look like this. If you take a look here, you can see that it is 8,063 thousandths, or 8 decimal, right here, 063. Sorry, I ran into some technical difficulties. I'm running out of budget on here, so we have these weird little dots here. But you get the picture for strategy number 2, using a place value chart to add decimals. All right, that brings us to strategy the third. I've always wanted to have a kid or my name like the third or the second, but that would actually be Junior. Never mind. The third. We're going to do a number line. Okay, so let's walk through this one slowly. It's fairly easy, but it can get confusing pretty quickly. We're going to start off at our line, and that is going to be 4.234. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep jumping, but we're going to add place value by place value, okay? So the first place value that we're going to add is 3. So the number line is going to jump forward because we're adding 3. Let's make that a little longer. So we're adding 3 ones. And what would that make this? It would then make this 7.234. Now we are going to add 8/10. Now 8/10 is not as big as a whole jump because that was 3 right here, right? That's 3. Now we're going to jump 8/10. So we're going to jump over here. Whoops. How about we do white? Ta-da, white. So that's 0.8 that we're adding, and that means we're adding to this, right? So right there, we would then have, we would regroup 8.034. Now, what's the next step? We're going to add 2 hundredths. It's going to be a small jump to right there. So 2 hundredths would then be, let's get it green, 8.0, and we're adding 2 to the hundredths. Let's put, sorry, forgot to write that, 2 hundredths. So we would have 3 plus 2 would be 5 hundredths. And then our last little itty bitty right there, even though it's not an itty bitty number, it's at 9 thousandths. So we're going to add right over here really quickly 0.009 thousandths. And so this line right here would give us our answer, which would be 8.0, and we're regrouping because 4 and 9 is 13 thousandths. We would have 6, 3. And that's our answer. Let's take a look. And that's how you add with a number line. Strategy the third complete. All right, check it out. Here are some decimals that you can practice with. Can you try one of each strategy and let me know what you think? There you go. Let me know what you come up with. Press pause on this video and press play once you figure it out. And there you go. There are the answers. How'd you do? All right, how about we move on to some subtraction? Taken away. Now, there's one thing I don't like about subtraction. It's this. I don't like taking things away, especially if I'm sharing this. Mr. Nicanor does not share food. So, I just had to get that out of the way. Now, let's learn some strategies for subtraction. Strategy 2, and yes, you read right, strategy 2. It's not that I'm on a budget again. I didn't skip strategy 1, or there was a skip or lag in the video. We're starting with strategy 2 because strategy 1 was renaming decimals, and you can rename it because it's traditional way, and just rename it again. So place value chart is something new for some of you. Let's do the place value chart again. Let's check out our decimal. Now we're going to subtract the 2 decimals we had earlier. All right, so check it out. What we've got here are the 4 ones that we can find here. We should have 2 tenths, we have 3 hundredths, and then right here we've got the 4 thousandths. We're going to take away 3 ones, 8 tenths, 2 hundredths, and 9 thousandths. We already can tell that there's not enough hundredths and thousandths and tenths in the places. So what we have to do is take some and regroup it into the other places. So let's do that right now. I'm going to regroup because we know that we have to take away 8 tenths, and there's definitely not 8 tenths here. So we're going to take this and we're going to regroup it there. We're also going to take 9 thousandths away from this, and there's definitely not enough. So we're going to take that and we're going to regroup, and it's going to look like this. All right, so now what we have here, we've got the 3 ones. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that we've added. So we've got 12 tenths. And now we still have the hundredths over here. So we're going to manually do this together. I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thanks for counting with me. And we're now going to delete or erase this one right over here because we don't need these ones anymore. Bam, 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 bam. My erasing job right there. Okay, so now how many do we have? We added 10 to the thousandths plus 4, so we have 14, and we have 2. Now we're going to delete, erase, all these here. So let's take away 3. You're taking these away. Now you're going to take away 8/10. So 8/10 would be these right here. Then we're going to take away 2/100. Take away 2 there. And we're going to take away 9/1000. So we'll take these away right here. And if I just blotted them out like that, and we can just count up the rest that are not there, we can now see the answers would be, let's cross those out. I don't feel like deleting right now. And our new answer would be, it would be 0 ones, decimal, 4 tenths, 0 hundredths, and 5 thousandths. Check it out. Did we get the right answer? Boom goes the dynamite. Can I draw dynamite? No, I don't know how to draw. I'm sorry. Okay, so there's the answer. That's how you use strategy number 2 for subtracting decimals. All right, check it out. We are back. Strategy the third. It's back to the number line. Now, with this fun strategy, you're actually not subtracting. We're going to do a lot of adding. And what we want to do is get to a whole number and then find the decimal. So, what do I mean by that? Let's start off with the lowest number on the number line, which would be 3.829. So if we write down 3.829, we're going to work our way and start adding. Okay, so let's try and make this number a lot easier. This number right here, okay? So we're going to try and make that number easier. And what we're going to find out is we're going to continue to add decimals in this space right here. Okay, so let's start adding up. Let's add 1,000th to make this easier. So let's add 1,000th, 0.001. Because if we add 0.001, this decimal now becomes 3.830. I don't even have to add the 0. Makes it easier, right? Now let's add hundredths. How do we add hundredths to make this easier? Okay, so let's add 7 hundredths. So we're going to add 7 hundredths. When we add 7 hundredths to 3.830, we get 3.9 because we added 7 hundredths to that. Aha! Now what can we do to make this easier? Let's add one more. Let's add a tenth plus 0.1. And when you add 0.1, we will get 4.0. Do you see what we're doing here? Now, we need to get to this number right here, 4.234. So what do we need to add to 4.0 right here? What do we need to add to 4.0 to get us to 4.234? What do you think? If you said we need to add plus 0.234, you're correct. Now on our number line right here, we are at 4.234. And we went from here, as you can see, 4.234, 4.234. We subtracted this. So how did we get this number? Well, we got this from adding that, adding that, adding that, and adding that. Check out that strategy, huh? That's why we call it strategy the third. So let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, so we've got 0.001 right here. We've got 0.07 right here. We added another tenth right here, and then 0.234 right here. And what does that give us? If we add them all up, we should get 0.405, which is equal to this. See what we did there? And that's our answer, everyone. We did subtraction without doing subtraction. You're welcome. All right, so that brings this video to a close. It's been long enough. There's some strategies that you can try out. I know that many of you already have your own strategies, but it's great trying out new strategies and having different tools in a toolbox. If you have any questions, rewatch this video or ask me in class. See you soon. Happy mathing.